Exclusive contract from Feilu Novel Network Novel. Rebirth. Starting with a huge profit of billions, Yang calls for Godfather. The river is reborn in a parallel world, rapidly rising in the capital circle. At the age of 23, he achieved a brilliant career of 30 billion yuan and became the most dazzling newcomer in the capital industry of China. Acquiring Ningde Era and entering Ali with a strong presence. Jumping in the word realm, Pinxi Teng behind each giant, one can see the figure of the river flowing. Short-selling Citibank, successfully betting on the subprime crisis in the flower flag country. Jiang has become a top trader that makes capital in various countries turn pale at the mention of tigers. On the way to becoming the world's richest person, the river never lacks a good sister to accompany. Yang Reba, Fei, Tang Lin Jiang, Lu Yan good sisters are rushing to hand over the money to Jiang investment. Jiang. As someone, I often take it as my responsibility to help young girls achieve financial freedom. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Yang in the Waves. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Shanghai, a certain estate-style resort hotel. Under the night, the water pavilion of the hotel is peaceful. In the presidential suite on the third floor, the river looks at everything through the French window. A handsome and delicate profile is reflected in the glass. It's been 2 years. I have traveled to this world for 2 years. Yes, Jiang is a glorious soul-piercing party. He was originally a simple and unadorned white-collar worker, living a dull life of 9 to 6. But crossing the unexpected changed everything. 2 years ago, on an ordinary night, Jiang fell asleep and woke up to find that he had traveled to this world. This is a parallel world similar to a previous life, except for a few years earlier, there is nothing different from the original world. At least macroscopically, this is the case. The river has been verified countless times through personal experience. The results are surprisingly consistent every time. At this moment, everything that happened in this world perfectly matched his original world. When will something happen? The river flow is clear. Relying on information asymmetry, rivers thrive in this world like fish in water. He effortlessly earned a fortune of 30 billion yuan in 2 years. These 2 years even include the year when he was in his senior year. If it were in my previous life, the river wouldn't even dare to think about it. This is like an exam. For Jiang he already knows the answer, there is no reason why he couldn't do well in the exam. In the previous life, Jiang was just a white-collar worker in the workplace, and the width and breadth of his life were quite limited. I have to make up for everything in this life. Use the bright red moon horse to measure poetry in distant places that have never been before. This sentence is no longer empty talk. The bathroom door was pushed open, and a beautiful figure walked out wrapped in a towel. If there are outsiders here, they will definitely be surprised. This person is truly the popular little flower Yang. At this time, Yang was not as popular as in her previous life, but she still had a high level of popularity nationwide. Even with the wild imagination of others, it is unimaginable that their goddess Yang would appear in the hotel room with other men. Yang sat on the sofa, with her back facing the river, starting to blow her hair. A set of actions that flow smoothly and harmoniously, clearly related to the river flow. Jiang and Yang are friends, the kind who only enter their bodies and not their lives. Also a career partner. Jiang Investment has numerous industries, and Jiaxing Media, where Yang is located, is one of them. Jiang personally holds 51% of the shares of Jiaxing Media, and he is the true owner of Jiaxing. He's just very low-key, outsiders don't know. As for Yang she is just a minority shareholder who holds less than 10% of the shares. The river leans against the French window and appreciates Yang profile. At this time, although Mimi was only in her 20s, she was full of talent and had a proud capital. Yang Mi pulled her hair and tied it up, showing even more proud curves in her every move and gesture. The river slightly stiffened as a sign of respect. He thought to himself that he deserved to be the goddess of slaying men. She knows so well. Your hair tied up is so lively and fragrant, it's as beautiful as a painting. Yang Mi turned her head and asked, "What is Jiang Dong thinking?" Jiang Lu has a serious expression on his face. I was thinking that the word surging waves is not used to describe the sea. Yang Mi was momentarily taken aback, then understood the meaning of the river flow and chuckled. She threw herself directly into Jiang Lu's arms and joked against him. Jiang Dong has such a strong observation ability. You've noticed all of this. Yang Mi planted a big strawberry on Jiang Lu's lips. Soft fragrance enters my arms, and the river embraces Yang Mi. I'm not blind, how can I not detect it? Yang Mi angrily said, is that how smooth tongues and rough waves are used? Otherwise, I've always liked to tell the truth. Yang Mi noticed that Jiang Lu was holding a book in the other hand. What is this? Are you reading a book? You're insulting me. The river flows recklessly. How do you say that? Yang Mi lengthened her tone, as if she had been let down by a scumbag. I'm taking a shower inside, but you can still read. Jiang Lu glanced at the bathroom. Due to the theme of couples, the design of the frosted glass wall in the bathroom is very distinctive. From the outside, you can basically see a score of 5 or 6. The designer understands very well, they hold that shy and half-exposed atmosphere tightly. I can't justify not adding chicken legs. Jiang Lu knows that Yang Mi is acting coquettishly. After spending more than a year together, he had already known the depth of Yang Mi. In front of others, she is a goddess and a queen. However, in front of herself, Yang Mi would never dare to do so. Being reserved requires strength to support it, especially for Yang Mi, who has been wandering in the entertainment industry. At the age of 23, Jiang Lu started almost from scratch and earned a fortune of 30 billion yuan. Yang Mi has absolutely no right to show off in front of him. She raised her chin, proud and delicate like a little peacock. There is a way in heaven where you don't go, and the sea of learning is endless. You work hard to make a boat. I'm going to give you some color today to see. Jiang Lu doesn't mind Yang Mi's posture, especially in bed. Yang Mi exhaled like a orchid, while Jiang Lu calmly entered the sage mode. After a moment of delay, Yang Mi picked up the book that had fallen by the bed. I want to see what kind of book it is, it fascinates you so much that you can't even care about the big one. Yang Mi hurriedly flipped through a few pages. 3 lives, 3 generations, 10 miles of peach blossoms is a script. Yes, it's 3 lives, 10 miles of peach blossoms, that once popular fairy tale drama. Although Jiang Lu had never watched this drama in his past life, he was well aware of its value. With over 30 billion online views and an average viewership of over 100 million on both channels, this is a phenomenal work. Moreover, this drama has also sparked a large number of artists under Jiaxing, laying the foundation for Jiaxing's continued popularity in the future. 3 lives, 3 generations, 10 miles of peach blossoms is crucial for Jiaxing. So Jiang Lu urgently planned to bring 3 lives, 3 generations, 10 miles of peach blossoms to the screen. Well, this is Jiaxing's next stage of business direction, and the company's resources in the next stage will be tilted towards this drama. Yang Mi couldn't help but be very interested in the drama, 3 lives, 3 generations, 10 miles of peach blossoms, when she saw that Jiang Lu was so devoted to it. She has known Jiang Lu for quite some time now, and even invested with him several times, each time benefiting greatly. Yang Mi is well aware of the sharpness and age of Jiang Lu's gaze. Since Jiang Dong values 3 lives, 3 generations, 10 miles of peach blossoms so much, then this drama will definitely become popular. Yang Mi asked cautiously, Jiang Dong, the candidate for the female lead by Qian. Her meaning goes without saying. Jiang Lu understood instantly, and he playfully placed his arms and feet behind his head. Well, it depends on your performance. Yang Mi gracefully gave Jiang Lu a wink, and then slowly withdrew into the blanket. For flowers, for automatic subscription. 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 Chapter 2. Reba, a girl full of dreams. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The night became increasingly dark, and after enjoying a series of oral performances, Jiang Lu's talent was finally exhausted. After taking a break, Yang Mi suddenly remembered the stock she had invested in following the trend of the river. Jiang Dong, the stock you asked me to invest in last time has not shown much improvement so far. Yang Mi felt a little anxious in her heart. You know, she threw nearly 10 million yuan into it. 10 million, this is a huge amount. The current time point is approximately 10 years ago in the original world. The richest person in China today has only a net worth of 80 billion yuan. Even for celebrities, 10 million is definitely a large amount. Yang Mi's net worth is only 40 to 50 million yuan. This is still based on the fact that she made some money by investing with the river. If she doesn't worry, there will be ghosts. Although Yang Mi trusts Jiang Lu very much, the matter is of great importance and she cannot help but worry. Pop, the river raised its eyebrows and patted Big Honey with a reproachful touch. That kind of domineering person seems to be talking about women. Do you dare to question me? A long echo echoed in the quiet room. Yang Mi couldn't help but scream in surprise. Ah, you hurt me. Jiang Lu is cynical. Oh, it's so easy to play. Can't you sit still now? Yang Mi was angry and moved the river's mischievous hand up a few inches. Anla, isn't that a concern? Please seek comfort. If I had a net worth of 30 billion like you, I wouldn't even take this 10 million as money every time she thought about it. Yang Mi couldn't help but marvel. It is unimaginable that the man in front of him made a fortune of 30 billion yuan in just 2 years, almost starting from scratch. He's even a few years younger than me. 30 billion yuan, currently the richest person in China is only around 80 billion yuan. In just 2 years, he became the wealthiest small group of people in all of China and the pinnacle of the pyramid. Wealth and power are the most perfect aphrodisiacs in the world. In front of female celebrities like Yang Mi, the river flows like walking hormones. Well, he's still very handsome. What should we do if we have money, beauty, and youth and are about to fall? Jiang Lu tried hard to recall the stocks mentioned by Yang Mi. Previously, I invested in a stock with Big Honey. Hush, what's your name? I have invested in a lot of stocks, and I haven't really remembered it for a while. Jiang Lu was just casually playing with Yang Mi, not taking it too seriously. Yang Mi guessed that he didn't remember for a moment when she saw the river flowing in confusion. I wish I could be as carefree as Jiang Dong anytime. For ordinary people, the 10 million they can't earn in their lifetime is not even worth paying attention to. The pharmaceutical sector is here. Jiang Lu suddenly realized and casually said, oh, it's Fengdan Pharmaceutical Technology, right? It's okay, that stock hasn't started to gain momentum yet. Yang Mi is worried and worried. It looks lifeless. Let's calculate that the time is about these 2 months. By the end of April, Fengdan Pharmaceutical Technology will reach its peak. That was when you cleared the warehouse. Yang Mi blinked his big eyes and asked with hope, what is the estimated return rate for Mr. Jiang? According to past cases, those who can catch the eye of Jiang Dong's law have a specified low return rate. The river is very steady. The return rate should be around 40%, it's okay, isn't it? Yang Mi was pleasantly surprised. 10 million, with a 3-month return rate of 40%, which means a net profit of 4 million. A net profit of 4 million yuan in 3 months, this deal is too easy to make a profit. I didn't seem to have put any effort into it except for taking out 10 million. Making money with Jiang Dong is easy. This is the role played by information asymmetry. Jiang Lu's grasp of information asymmetry is like holding a cheat device. If one cannot play with others, they will have ghosts. Yang Mi became increasingly convinced of the idea of walking on her thighs by the river. She raised her head and carefully scrutinized the river, as if admiring some amazing treasure. What kind of man is this? It's clearly a ladder of progress in my life. The company has signed a batch of new employees. Will Mr. Jiang take the time to help check it out? Yang Mi clearly understands Jiang Lu's hobbies and knows that Jiang Lu is a very pure person. Jiang Lu's heart moved, helping the newcomers to pass. Is it serious? I am not a casual person. Well, not a top-tier beauty, I'm not interested. Yang Mi remained silent when she saw the river flowing and explained wisely, I have seen all these newcomers, and there are many good seedlings. One of them is named Reba, who has just graduated from the film academy and has great potential. I also hope that Jiang Dong can give some advice. A person like Jiang Dong, who is philanthropic, shouldn't refuse to help a girl like Reba who is full of dreams. Right upon hearing the words, Reba, Jiang Lu immediately became energized. Reba. She has finally been signed by Jiaxing. The impression of Reba emerged in Jiang Liu's mind, swaying and shining brightly. He suddenly felt all the cells in his body come alive, and exhaustion swept away. Jiang Lu said seriously, as a senior executive of the company, it is my duty to take care of new employees. I love helping young girls fulfill their dreams the most. That settled then. Believe me, Reba will definitely not disappoint you, I never doubt that. Yang Mi leaned close to the river and said, if there is a new project, you must not forget me. Eating the essence and savoring the taste, the river seems to have opened up her ren and du meridians. Yang Mi is a bit addicted. Coach, I want to play basketball. No, dear, I want to invest with you. When it comes to new projects, I do have some ideas. What do you think of school district houses? Yang Mi is a bit confused. School district room. At this time, the country had not yet issued regulations on school district housing. School district housing is still a very unfamiliar concept. But Jiang Lu knows that the country will soon introduce a school district housing policy. This is an excellent money-making trend that should not be missed. It's the houses around the school, especially around prestigious schools. In recent years, as more and more people flock to cities, the issue of education for children of migrant workers has become increasingly tense. I expect there will be some action up there soon. Would you like to play with me? Yang Mi readily agreed. Yes, I must. Even if I smash the pot and sell iron, I will sacrifice my life to accompany the gentleman. I went back and pulled up the money, smashing the small piggy bank. Yang Mi didn't hesitate at all. Countless successful experiences have proven the precision of Jiang Liu's investment vision. Now Yang Mi has been completely conquered by the river. She trusts the river without reservation. The two of them took a break and then went back to their respective homes. If it's not necessary, Jiang Lu doesn't like to spend the night outside. Chapter 3. Reba's Doorstep. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 14 Shishan Shimao Manor, a Rolls-Royce welcomes you into the garage. The spacious garage is filled with various luxury cars, ranging from 2 million to tens of millions, including various price ranges. Rolls-Royce, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche. This is simply a luxury car exhibition hall. The river yawned as it got off the car. If it's not a formal occasion, he never uses a driver. It's almost 3 o'clock, so tired. Go to bed. The sleep quality of Jiang Lu is very good, sleeping until 11 o'clock the next day before waking up. As he came downstairs with drowsy eyes and a yawn, the three young and beautiful maids were ready for everything. Hello Jiang Dong. After a simple wash, Jiang Lu went to the gym to start exercising. Exercising for an hour every day is his unchanging habit. Do you think becoming a Sea King is easy? The Sea King needs a strong physique even more. Jiang Lu came out of the gym sweating profusely, took a shower, and then finished breakfast and lunch. The dignified maid reminded, Jiang Dong, Mr. Chen has been waiting in the study for a while. Well, I got it. Chen Jiping, a close ally of Jianglu University, is also his current right-hand man. Chen Jiping wore a meticulous back hair, of medium height, with a lean body and thin lips, exuding a restrained temperament. The only downside is that those dead fish eyes give people a sense of distance. He used his own strength to explain what it means to ruin a face with one pair of eyes. The young man is quite handsome, just with a pair of eyes. Jiang Lu leaned against the door and pointed out Chen Jiping, who was reading books and playing games. Old Chen, chat outside and bask in the sun. In Shanghai in February, even though the sun is shining brightly, it is still quite cold outside. The river made the maid brew hot tea. Chen Jiping squinted his eyes while drinking tea, and when he saw the river moving its waist on the grass, he smiled knowingly. Young people should pay attention to moderation. The river pretends to be foolish while being stunned. What? Chen Jiping laughed and cursed, I said you're quite satisfied as the shopkeeper. Last night at the bar, you finished drinking and left with your glass. You go and have a good time on your own, leaving so many people to me to deal with. You're too bad, kid. The two are close friends and have a good and iron relationship. They are not polite when speaking. Jiang Lu reached out and shook his hand on the horizontal line of his waist. No, this is their level. Then he swayed at the height of his chest. This is my level. Being able to attend and have a drink with them is enough to save face. You can fool others with this nonsense. I know you fooled around with Yangmi last night. Pooh, I don't know how to behave. I had girlfriends everywhere in college, but now I'm addicted to female celebrities. You boy will fall on women sooner or later. The river is indifferent. I only have this hobby. Do you think everyone is a workaholic like you? You happen to be here, so I didn't have to go to the company. I have something to talk to you about. Chen Jiping became a bit more serious, and the tacit understanding he had developed with the river for a long time told him that he needed to make big moves again. The river drank a cup of tea to moisten its throat. Cough, how much more funds are currently available to the group? Chen Jiping pondered for a moment and gave a clear answer. The company just completed several projects a few years ago, and the funds have returned. Currently, the financial situation is good. We can allocate 6 billion yuan of funds without affecting the normal operation of the company. The river frowned. 4 billion, it's a bit low. 4 billion is indeed a bit insufficient for what he needs to do in the next stage. After crossing over, this world is macroscopically similar to the previous life of Jiang Lu. Basically, predictions can be made. The difference lies in the differences in the microscopic details. The overall development trends of the world are completely interconnected. Simply put, it means that the river has a poor grasp of information. To some extent, he was aware of the upcoming major events and was proactive. The upcoming school district housing policy at the national level is a typical example. Now that the prerequisites for school district housing have matured, it is time to start preparing. If you miss out on the trend of school district housing, it will be gone. How could such a divine opportunity be a minor disturbance? If you want to play, you have to play with big waves. According to Jiang Lu's past life experience, after the implementation of school district housing policies, the prices of school district housing in first and second-tier cities increased by as much as 60% in a short period of time. Even up to 80% have better locations. And this is only in the short term, and in the long run, it is even more unlimited. If one owns a batch of school district houses or a batch of land near the campus at this time, it is equivalent to owning a group of hens that can lay golden eggs. Even lying down can earn money. At such times, of course, you can throw in as much money as you have. Losing a penny is a blasphemy against the traversing party. If it is a short-term investment, how much funds can be raised? The cycle is about 2 months. Chen Jiping breathed a sigh of relief upon hearing these words. In a 2-month cycle, raising 6 billion yuan in funds should not be a problem. Jiang Lu clapped his hands and said ambitiously, "Okay, 6 billion is 6 billion. I'll give you 3 days to raise funds. The faster, the better. I have great use." Chen Jiping also became excited upon seeing the situation. 6 billion. This is a great move. Chen Jiping rubbed his fists and palms. What are we playing this time? He is not at all worried that the river will make wrong judgments. The river rubbed its chin and spat out 3 words in its mouth. School district room. Chen Jiping has a high level of execution and never talks much nonsense. He quickly followed the instructions of the river and raised funds. In the evening, a taxi was driving on its way to number 14 Xishan World Trade Estate. The cheap taxi runs through the villa complex in Xishan manner, appearing somewhat out of place. Reba sat in the back seat, feeling a bit nervous and uneasy. Her mind was very chaotic, echoing the words that Yang Mi had explained. There is no free lunch in this world. Since I have decided to work in the entertainment industry, I should have been mentally prepared for some things. But at this moment, she still felt a bit scared. Reba has just been signed by Jiang, and she still doesn't understand the flow of the river. For this soon-to-be-met wealthy father, she is more nervous than expected. It's not her fault, the overall environment is like this. The entertainment industry today is still dominated by coal bosses and real estate developers. These 2 types of people, apart from having money, have hardly left any good influence on the public. Uneducated, greasy, and vulgar, this is a true portrayal of the river by Reba. At the thought of this, Reba became even more nervous, tears rolling in her eyes. He won't still be bald, will he? Bald old baby. Oh my God, just kill me with one sword. Reba resisted the urge to make the taxi driver turn around. If I do this, I will definitely be hidden by the company, right? Miss Mi said that Jiang Dong is not only the largest shareholder of the company, but also a tycoon with a net worth of 30 billion yuan. If I offend someone like this, I probably won't want to get involved in the entertainment industry in the future. Just as Reba's mind was in turmoil, the taxi driver spoke up to remind her. Little girl, the 14th of Xishan Manor has arrived. Chapter 4. Reba, Jiang Dong, please be gentle. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Reba mustered up her courage and pressed the access control, and the gentle voice of the maid rang out. Hello, may I ask who is speaking? I am Reba from Jiaxing Media, and I have an appointment with Jiang Dong. The door slowly opened and Reba cautiously walked in. A maid came to guide her. Miss Reba, right. This way, please. Mr. Jiang is having dinner. The luxurious level of the villa dazzled the inexperienced girl Reba. Swimming pool, massage pool, large home cinema, shark pool, bowling alley, and custom-made private wine cellar. The classical style decoration and understated and introverted display gave Reba a refreshing experience. At the end of the day, she is just a recent college graduate and has never seen such a battle before. Reba thought to herself that Jiang Dong had great taste. At this thought, my heart suddenly became more calm. Jiang Dong, Miss Reba is here. At the first glance of the river, Reba was stunned, and her lips had a faint tendency to turn round. She thought Jiang Lu was a wealthy but old and ugly chubby guy. I didn't expect to be a handsome and elegant guy. Reba stands on the side of the river. From her perspective, she could see that the river was simply sitting there, with sharp edges on its side face. The line from the eyebrows to the nostrils and then to the lower jaw was exquisite, as if it had come out of a comic book. My eyes are as clear as a clear spring. I really don't want to cut my daughter too hard. What is this greasy and sleazy coal boss? Clearly, it's a clean and sunny little brother. The contrast between reality and imagination is so strong that Reba's mind is completely blank. Money, beauty, and mystery are just my ideal type. Love, love. Reba is crazily tempted. She is still in the stage of judging her appearance. Obviously, the river has an advantage in this regard. Jiang, Dong, good evening, I'm Reba. The river is also scrutinizing Reba at the same time. She is taking a lady's route today, and the dressing style of Xiao Xiangfeng actually feels a bit out of place with her slightly heroic appearance. However, the tall and graceful figure masks this. The hot and green scenery in front of me is charming, lacking a hint of charm. But this is also normal, isn't it the case for all 22-year-old girls? I am good at helping girls complete their transformation into women. The joy of cultivation lies entirely in this. How to quickly get closer to unfamiliar girls. The river is well versed in this path. There's no way, handsome guys always have their youth filled with war. That's all done through practice. Starting from the eyes, gentle without aggression, purely appreciative, generous and appropriate. Sitting here, Mr. Yang should have introduced me to you. Reba nodded obediently, thinking to herself that she didn't say it so carefully. Originally, Jiang Dong was so special. The river turned its head and raised its chin towards the maid. Serve now, don't let our guests get hungry. Reba gave a reserved smile. The two of them had dinner together, both young people, and we had many common topics to discuss. Although Reba was a bit reserved, Jiang Lu's excellent language quickly overcame the awkward period. Miss Me said, Jiang Dong, you almost started from scratch and earned 30 billion yuan in just 2 years. How impressive. I just did the right thing at the right time. Upon hearing these words, Reba couldn't help but improve her impression of the river flow in her heart. This man is only 1 year older than himself, achieving such amazing achievements without arrogance or impatience, completely devoid of the pride of genius. His success is not without reason. Jiang Dong is fundamentally different from those nouveau riche. Making money is very important to people. Reba felt lost in thought. After dinner, the two chatted for a while, then went swimming in the indoor constant temperature swimming pool. Reba changed into her swimsuit and came out, and Jiang Lu's eyes lit up. The calm emerald green is interspersed with ivory white, and in a restrained manner, there is an infinite longing for summer. The minimalist design of geometric beauty allows Reba to unleash her charm to the fullest. Her beauty is different from that of Boss Yang. Mr. Yang is a cold and charming person who is everywhere. 22-year-old Reba is a shy and coquettish woman. What? How can Jiang Lu have sexy swimsuits at home? Don't ask, asking is just asking someone to buy it. Wow, Reba slowly walked towards the river in the swimming pool. Her graceful figure faintly appeared in the water waves. At this moment, the river feels a magnificent picture slowly unfolding before its eyes. Reba stopped in front of the deep water area, with a look of embarrassment on her face. What's wrong? I can't swim. Jiang Lu smiled. I can't swim, I'll teach you. Jiang Lu hand in hand teaching. Right, come on, relax, don't panic, I will support you. Hey, yes, hold on, swing your arms. Come on, lie down on me and feel how you swing your arms. The body feels buoyancy. This teaching is very lively and fragrant. The two of them floated in the water, and Reba studied very carefully. At this point, she was no longer constrained as before. Why choose Jiaxing? Reba is full of longing. I want to become a celebrity, Jiaxing is a very good platform. I hope Mr. Jiang can provide more support. It's easy to say, helping people is the foundation of happiness. It is necessary to carry young people. However, it depends on whether you get on the road or not. I have no choice but to deal with those boring rotten wood. Boss Yang said you have great potential, but it seems like I haven't realized it yet. Reba calmly, the good wind relies on its strength to send me up to the blue clouds. Moreover, Jiang Dong is still so special. Reba murmured in a voice that only she could hear clearly, and passionately kissed her, showing off her potential. Beside the swimming pool, the maid serving wine wisely retreated. A gentle breeze gradually rises, wrinkling a pool of spring water. Cheers and cheers. Clatter 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 clatter. Chapter 5. Tang Yen is amazed. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The next morning, the sky began to drizzle lightly. The generation of Shishan feels cool when it rains due to its proximity to Shenlin Park. Even with central air conditioning, one can still feel the coolness. Reba stood up from bed in a daze, and the effects of intense exercise and a hangover had not completely subsided. Recalling everything that happened last night is like a dream. Reba's cheeks are flushed. What a wonderful dream. Oh, what a shame. What are you thinking? Reba simply combed and washed downstairs, while the maid was ironing clothes for Jiang Lu. Where's Jiang Dong? Good morning, Miss Reba. Jiang Dong is exercising at the gym. The maid kindly handed over a cup of honey water. This thing is particularly effective against hangovers. Does Jiang Dong love sports very much? Yes, Jiang Dong's life is very disciplined. I exercise for an hour every morning and I am also very enthusiastic about outdoor activities. Reba seemed to be reminiscing about something and couldn't help but nod in admiration. It was really effective. The maid almost burst out laughing when she heard these words. As soon as the words fell, Reba suddenly reacted. Oh my goodness. What kind of words are I talking about? After breakfast, Reba bid farewell, knowing that her fate would undergo a drastic change. The river stopped her. Wait a moment, this is for you. Reba took it over and saw that it was a set of keys. Jiang Dong, this. Jiang Lu explained. With 100 million people, you just came to Shanghai and don't have a place to live, do you? I'll give you this house as a gift. My driver will take you there later. Sending a house is purely for the sake of caring for employees, not for the convenience of meeting Reba. Reba was deeply moved. There is simply no resistance to such thoughtful men. Thank you, Mr. Jiang. I will definitely perform well. I have a good eye on you. The river watched as Reba went out. Your performance last night was already great. After Reba left, Jiang Lu also prepared to go to work. Today is Wednesday, singular. He goes to the company as usual. The Yuanlu Venture Capital building is located in the center of Shanghai, on the century-old bund, with every inch of land being worth every penny. The building is a super-large composite building that integrates 5-star hotels, commercial centers, high-end office buildings, restaurants, cinemas, shopping centers, and leisure clubs. Jiang Lu's private office area is on the top floor, and the entire floor is his personal activity center. Chairman's office, Chen Jiping knocked on the door and entered. How is the fundraising going? The 8 billion yuan funds have basically been in place. Great, then let's get started. This matter should be done sooner rather than later, as delay can lead to changes. Our main stronghold is in first-tier cities. Take all the land that is close to the school, whether it is undeveloped land or pre-built commercial housing. Cutting through chaos with a quick knife is all about speed. Understood. After obtaining the land and commercial housing, I will go to the bank for mortgage loans and then recycle the previous operations. Control the loan scale at around 2 billion yuan. You've done this kind of thing so many times, should you be familiar with it, with the credibility of our source of venture capital, it's not a problem to borrow 2 billion yuan. Since the implementation of the 4 trillion yuan stimulus policy, the threshold for bank loans has invisibly lowered a lot. The essence of finance is borrowing money. In the process of making a fortune in Jianglu, banks played a crucial role. However, as his fundamentals continue to expand, he now lacks interest in leverage. 20% is still in his relatively restrained situation. Some developers have even leveraged their assets dozens of times. Mr. Su, the most famous Hermes belt enthusiast in his past life, was famous for playing with financial leverage. Their debt scale is as high as 2 trillion yuan. The lever is lifted higher than the sky. What does Jianglu remember? By the way, does Yang Mi have any funds transferred in? Not yet. Jianglu nodded and said, well, Mi probably hasn't raised all the funds yet. Well, go ahead and get busy first. Yang Mi is indeed busy raising funds at the moment. She is planning to play a big game with the river this time. A return rate of 60% to 80%, Yang Mi is really tempted. She is preparing to invest 50 million yuan. There is still about 40 million yuan left in my personal vault, with a gap of 10 million yuan. Yang Mi has been busy collecting these 10 million these days. Jiaxing, Yang Mi is on a phone call with her friend Tang Yan in her circle. Tang Yan's sweet voice came from the other end of the phone. Jimei, have you finally remembered me as a busy person? I didn't go to accompany your big baby today. Yang Mi has a serious expression on her face. Darling, how do I usually treat you? Not much. I promised to introduce Jiang Dong to me a long time ago, but I haven't fulfilled my promise yet. Oh my, I haven't had a chance since then. Besides this matter, feel your conscience and say, how do I usually treat you? Tang Yan joked, if you want money, you don't need a life. Oh my, stop joking, to be serious. Tang Yan restrained his smile. Tell me, I want to see what's bothering our boss Yang. Borrow me 10 million and repay you in 2 months. Tang Yan was a bit surprised, he really borrowed money. Honey, you shouldn't be short of money. Have you encountered anything recently? Yang Mi roughly explained the matter of preparing to invest in the school district housing with Jianglu. After hearing this, Tang Yan asked in surprise, school district room, is there such a thing? How come I don't know? Chapter 6. Yang Mi, wait a minute, oh wait a minute. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The pride in Yang Mi's words is almost overflowing the screen. Of course you don't know, this is the result of our dear family's analysis. Tang Yan obviously doesn't take this approach. She has never had contact with Jianglu, unlike Yang Mi who trusts Jianglu unconditionally. I don't think it's an analysis, it's a prophecy. Can macroeconomic policies at the national level also be analyzed? You're too romantic, right? Give me some clarity. Yang Mi is anxious, she is anxious. Believe me, our dear family has never had a wrong investment vision before. In the near future, the government will definitely launch targeted school district housing policies. Tang Yan sighed, this girl is hopeless. How could you be so blind? Even if Jiang Dong is powerful, it is impossible to deduce the policy direction at the national level, right? There are too many uncontrollable things like this, who dares to say they are absolutely certain? Yang Mi knew that she couldn't convince Tang Yan with just a few words, so she didn't explain anything further. Then lend me the money, and I will definitely repay you in 2 months. She thought to herself that when I make a profit, I'll see if you're greedy. You will definitely regret it. Tang Yan had no choice. Oh, honey is hopeless. I'm afraid this 10 million is going to be wasted. I hope that when honey loses, she won't be too sad. Since you are so persistent, as a friend, I will lend you this 10 million. But I still want to remind you that I don't think the school district housing is reliable. Yang Mi couldn't help but feel delighted when she received Tang Yan's response to borrowing money. Love you, love you, treat you to a big meal next time. I will definitely repay you this 10 million in 2 months. Tang Yan didn't take it too seriously, just don't lose everything. Yang Mi, seeing how happy her good sisters are, also wants to help Tang Yan. Actually, I think you can also invest with me. Would you like to join me? Me. Tang Yan rejected it with one gulp. Forget it, I can't handle capital matters. Alright, then wait for my good news. Goodbye. Yang Mi received a fundraising of 50 million yuan and immediately ran to find Jiang Lu. Dong 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 dong, please come in. Seeing Yang Mi, Jiang Lu smiled and said, you can't help but mutter, I just talked about you. Yang Mi hugged Jiang Lu's neck and sat on his lap. What is my dear nagging me about? The river unconsciously hugged Yang Mi's waist. I was thinking that General Yang had entered, and this time he was so calm and composed. Hee, I'm trying to gather money. You think everyone is as wealthy as you are. I have emptied all the small treasury this time and borrowed 10 million from someone else. Jiang Lu asked curiously, who is it? Tang Yan Luo. Tang Yan, Jiang Lu's impression of her instantly came to mind. Borrow. I thought you would pull her along. I seem to smell plastic sisters' flowers. No, that's not true. I had planned to do the same, but they had some concerns. Not everyone trusts you like I do. It has to be said that she missed an excellent investment opportunity. There are still many opportunities for future cooperation. I will introduce you to get to know each other. I am interested in Jiang Lu de. Okay, by the way, I was quite surprised that you could come up with 50 million this time. Yang Mixin swore confidently and waved her fist. I can't bear to let go of my child and not be able to catch a wolf. This time, I'm going to go all out. Dear, how much did you invest? My 50 million is probably a drop in the bucket compared to you, isn't it? Yang Mi is the closest woman to her, there is no need to hide it from her. Jiang Lu extended his finger and made a gesture. Yang Mi tentatively asked, 8 billion. The river shook its head playfully. I just like to see you look shocked. It's really interesting. Yang Mixing's eyes were wide open, and her breathing became rapid. Ha, 8 billion. This is definitely a number that she can't imagine. Yang Mi couldn't help but have this idea in her heart. Can I earn so much money in my lifetime? Is this a truly wealthy country? Jiangdong has such great courage. It took Yang Mi a while to recover from the impact of 8 billion yuan. I thought your investment scale would be very large. But I never expected it to be so big. Jiang Lu doesn't think much of it. Picking up money, of course we need to prepare a larger basket. Darling, are you not afraid of losing money? 8 billion yuan, even if the source of venture capitalists are big and successful, it will still hurt their muscles and bones, right? I never engage in uncertain battles. Did you see me losing money in that business? Yang Mi tried to recall for a moment. It seems that since I met Jiang Dongyi, I have never seen a case of his investment failure. Darling, how did you do it? The river laughs but remains silent. Almost done. What kind of bicycle do you need? I can't tell you that I came through time travel, can I? Yang Mi's face suddenly stiffened, with a warm big hand on her body. Wait, oh, wait. Yang Mi repeatedly emphasized her tone. Wait a moment. She stood up as if flying and locked the door of the office. Actually, it's completely unnecessary. This entire floor is my private space. If someone comes up, my secretary will call me on the phone. I feel very insecure. The clothes were disheveled, and the atmosphere in the office fell into a charming atmosphere. Chapter 7. Silk Socks Milk Tea. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After a long time, the noisy room quieted down. Jiang Lu thought to himself that he had bought the right sofa, it was elastic enough. Yang Mi was tidying up her clothes while gripping her black silk and charging towards the river, complaining, "Sometimes I just wonder, why is a person who appears refined on the surface so wild behind the scenes? The newly changed stockings have been torn again anyway, it's useless. Why don't you just throw it away?" Yang Mi took off her stockings in front of the river. She had no scruples about the flow of the river, and even joked, "Why, are you staring blankly?" Jiang Lu said, "I seem to see the whole world staring at my soul." Ah, is he so terrifying? At present, Yang Mi and Reba have completely different feelings. Yang Mi is passionate, and charming, captivating. She showed no hint of youthful shyness or timidity from a young girl, and was very proactive, exuding a mature aura. Seeing her slow movements, Jiang Lu willingly took the initiative to help. He grabbed the hole and then pulled hard. Sting! The whole black thread was torn off. Yang Mi's center of gravity was deflected, causing her to fall into the arms of the river and bump into her chest. Ah! Why tear it off if you're going to die? Otherwise, can we keep it for making milk tea? Yang Mi couldn't help but laugh. Pwai, stockings and milk tea, right? I really have you. The milk tea made by Mr. Yang's stockings must have been snatched up by someone. No, there shouldn't really be someone brewing milk tea with stockings, right? So I'm not sure, maybe someone has such a strong taste. Some people just like bad women's stockings don't scare me anymore. I know how to make stockings milk tea. They just used a white cotton mesh to filter, and when they brewed more tea, it turned into the color of stockings. Why do you men have a special fondness for stockings? Because stockings were originally prepared for men. Yang Mi has a ghostly expression that I believe you have. Don't believe it, stockings were born in 15th century Europe and were the beloved item of the nobility at that time. People feel that they are not wearing stockings on their feet, but rather noble, orthodox, and refined. Wearing stockings, one's feet are not stepping on the earth, but rather vulgar. Wearing brightly colored socks, you are the most beautiful boy in the entire palace. An image of a long-legged rough man wearing stockings unconsciously came to Yang Mi's mind. Stubborn leg hair stood up, piercing through the holes in the stockings, creating a picturesque scene. Yang Mi couldn't help but feel embarrassed. Stop talking, I'm going to vomit. The two continued to warm up for a while. I actually have a question, why do we only speculate on school district houses in first-tier cities? I can't tell, you're quite ambitious. Mainly because first-tier school districts have the greatest potential for housing appreciation. Besides, you underestimate the size of our country too much. Just the first-tier school district housing is not something our family can afford. We are just striving for excellence and winning the most valuable part. We have to leave some soup for others when we eat meat. Besides, big trees catch the wind, and making two big moves can easily attract the attention of those with intentions. Well, that's the truth. By the way, have you seen Reba? What do you think? Jiang Lu exclaimed sincerely, very good, she is a good girl who dares to pursue her dreams. I particularly admire her. I like to help young girls fulfill their dreams. Do you forget to love when you have a new love? How could your 36-degree mouth say such cold words? No, I like each and every one of you. Speaking of which, even the river admires itself a bit. How did I say such a thing? Is it true that there is such a saying about the Sea King body? Yang Mi increasingly realized that she couldn't do without the river. I just want to see that, 33 generations and 10 miles of peach blossoms, is about to start. I will not see the river flow for several foreseeable months. Yang Mi suddenly felt a sense of parting sadness surging in her heart. Dear, 3 lives, 10 miles of peach blossoms is about to start filming. Wishing the shooting a smooth journey. If you encounter any difficulties, please contact me promptly and I will take action. Yang Mi felt a sense of peace of mind and had a great feeling of being supported by the mountain. But at the same time, there is also a sense of loss and disappointment in my heart. Why does he only care about the play and not about me? You don't want to say anything else. Wishing Mr. Jiang all the best in his filming and taking his career to the next level. After booting up and joining the group, I couldn't see you for a long time. What should I do? Easy to handle, I'll go visit the crew now. Okay, that's settled. In the coming period, Jianglio's focus of life will be on real estate speculation. As expected, the bank quickly approved the application for Yuanlu Venture Capital. The qualifications of Yuanlu Venture Capital are impeccable. The bank has no reason to refuse. Even eager to borrow money from the river. Funds are gradually in place. Yuanlu Venture Capital has started its layout under the remote control of Jianglu. Yuanlu Venture Capital quickly acquired land and bought houses in several first-tier cities. Of course, everything is happening in a low-key manner. Invisibly, a large net slowly unfolds. Under the operation of massive funds, more and more school district houses and undeveloped land are being taken in by a steady stream of venture capital. These assets with astonishing upward potential will soon experience a crazy surge. Chapter 8. The Gold Owner's Dad Visits the Class. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. At the beginning of March, the overall situation was determined. 8 billion yuan of funds were invested in exchange for several of the most promising school district houses and land in first-tier cities. Next is the time for Jianglu to sit and watch the cloud Shuyun scroll. Once the school district housing policy is announced, he can just sit and count the money. Sometimes making money is just that simple. Real estate, where can it become so complex? Setting aside the information gap in school district housing policies, the most technical aspect is simply fundraising. For ordinary people, this kind of thing may be as difficult as the sky, but for rivers, it's not a problem. At the same time, the highly anticipated 3 Lives, 3 Generations, 10 Miles of Peach Blossoms, by the river is also being intensively filmed. The filming location for 3 Lives, 3 Generations, 10 Miles of Peach Blossoms is in a small county town in Yunnan. There is a national 4A scenic area in the local area. Anyway, everything about the school district housing has been arranged, and Jianglu has decided to take a break for himself. Visit 3 Lives, 3 Generations, 10 Miles of Peach Blossoms, let's go. The outdoor filming base of Sansheng is so beautiful that it's hard to bear to blink your eyes. On this busy day, the film and television base welcomed a special guest. The Jianglu expedition is here. Our big boss came to visit, and the production team received him with great respect. The director, assistant director, producer, screenwriter, and several lead actors are all accompanying them. The focus of the entire production team suddenly shifted from filming to accompanying the boss. The director chuckled and said, "Thank you, Mr. Jiang, for your concern. You came all the way from Shanghai to visit the crew amidst your busy schedule, which surprised me greatly. Don't worry, I guarantee that all the staff of our production team will do their best to deliver a perfect answer sheet. We will never disappoint the expectations of Mr. Jiang and the company." The director has a fanatical gaze and is extremely passionate about the river. He was aware of Jianglu's identity and knew that the young man in front of him was not only a major shareholder of Jiaxing, but also a big boss of well-known domestic capital source venture capital. Forged a glorious existence of 30 billion at the age of a weak crown. The hot topics in the domestic investment circle in the past 2 years. Jiang Dong has always been low-key, but I didn't expect to meet him today. I must seize this opportunity. This precious opportunity may only be once in a lifetime. If you could make it onto Jiang Dong's lap, it would be like stepping onto the ladder of life's progress. Other senior executives on the set also generally have this mentality. The level of the river flow is too high, presenting a crushing posture towards them. Jiang Lu's expression has always been indifferent. He gave the director a silent glance. I am only here to visit the team this time, and I do not want to interfere with your filming progress. Do whatever you want, I don't need so many people to accompany me, okay, it's my negligence. The director called on the on-site workers to continue working. The arrival of the river ignited the soul of gossip among the crew. Wow, this little brother has such a big presence, with dozens of security personnel alone. Yes, what exactly is it? Even the director and producers handled it cautiously, afraid of making him unhappy. You may have limited knowledge. I'll tell you, this is the big boss of our Jiang, Jiang. Isn't it too grand? Does Jiang have such a great influence? Of course not, Jiang's current position in the entertainment industry cannot even be considered second-rate. But this Jiang Dong definitely has such great face. He also has one layer of identity. Chairman of Yuanlu Venture Capital Group and sole shareholder. Wait, Yuanlu Venture Capital is the owner of Yuanlu Venture Capital with a net worth of 30 billion yuan. That's right, he's already worth 30 billion yuan at the age of 23 this year. Oh my god, I thought I would be a middle-aged person or a gloomy elderly person. I didn't expect Jiang Dong to be so young. The key is to look pretty. What should I do? We're going to fall. Don't act on your own and be sentimental. What Jiang Dong likes is the blessings he has cultivated in his past life. Let's just forget about your common rouge powder. If you can win Jiang Dong's favor, you will definitely have a smooth sailing in the entertainment industry in the future. Listening to others on the way, Yang Mi and Reba felt relieved. This treasure is the right bet. Yang Mi and Reba are walking left and right, holding onto the river, sightseeing inside the filming base. Jiang Lu turned his head and asked Yang Mi, by the way, didn't you shoot any scenes today? Is this considered absenteeism? Coincidentally not, do you think it's a coincidence? I can only say that you have chosen a good time actually, there was originally some, but the director cleverly changed the schedule and postponed the roles of Yang Mi and Reba. The director clearly had a clear understanding of the relationship between Yang Mi, Reba, and Jiang Lu, so he made a last-minute decision. This is just a basic exercise in the entertainment industry. The Golden Father is the heavens, and being with him is the most important priority. Jiang Lu smiled and said, your director is very professional. This type of professional can collaborate more in the future. I will convey that the director will be very happy to receive our affirmation from Mr. Jiang. Jiang Luchong asked, how do you feel that 3 lives, 3 generations, 10 miles of peach blossoms should be your first play? Reba had a short contact time with the river, and with Yang Mi by her side, she couldn't let go. Seeing the river caring for her, she immediately felt a sense of being flattered. Not bad, it's okay. The entire crew takes good care of me. Can we not take care of it? Everyone knows that he is the woman of the wealthy father. Who dares not sell face? Yang Mi took over the conversation. Well, Reba is a high-achieving graduate from the Beijing Film Academy, a professional actor. Although it was the first play, the performance was very outstanding. Yang Mi's conversation changed. Dear, is the school district housing project progressing smoothly? Chapter 9. No, you come just in time. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Of course, I have set my goals without hesitation. Yuanlu Venture Capital has already won school district houses and land in major first-tier cities to the fullest extent. Yang Mi sighed and said, every time I think of it, I feel palpitations. That's 8 billion, it hurts so much. Looking sideways at the river. Hello, what's the pain in your heart? That's all my money, okay. Reba listened on the side, feeling confused. 8 billion. What 8 billion? What is a school district house? As the topic between Yang Mi and Jiang Lu continued to deepen, Reba finally understood the general situation. Jiang Dong actually invested 8 billion yuan in a real estate project. This is too bold, isn't it? 8 billion. This word won't echo in Reba's mind. For her, this is an unimaginable number. For the first time in her 22-year-old life, she was so close to 8 billion. Reba looked at Jiang Liujuan's handsome profile and suddenly felt a bit unreal. A few months ago, she was busy with her graduation performance on campus, worried about her future destiny. Looking around, my classmates and friends around me are also in this state. But now she has joined an extraordinary potential production team as the second daughter, and the people around her are all talking about billions of dollars in business. Reba suddenly felt as if she was dreaming. All of this was brought by this man. It turns out that choosing to stand in line can truly overturn a person's destiny trajectory. Reba's understanding of the river has deepened a bit. Jiang Dong pointed out how handsome Jiang Shan looks. Meanwhile, Reba felt a bit insecure and felt out of place. But she covered it up very well and didn't show it. I estimate that the policies above will be issued soon. At that time, the real estate industry, especially the first and second-tier real estate industry, will experience a wave of dividends. In the long run, school district housing can be considered a profitable business. In the short term, a return rate of 60% to 80% should not be feasible. Yang Mi is full of enthusiasm, who doesn't like the feeling of making money. I really hope the policy can be issued soon, I can't wait anymore. Sometimes when filming, I think about it. The river flows with a clear mind. Good food is never too late. Jiang Dong, I have a question, said Reba timidly on the side. Oh, what? How did you learn about the school district housing reform proposed by the higher authorities? Reba said the 3 words, school district house, were a bit awkward. This is the first time she has heard of this concept. Before Jiang Lu could speak, Yang Mi rushed to help him answer. Of course, it was derived and analyzed. For investment, Jiang Dong is professional. If we can learn 2 moves along, getting rich is not a dream. Reba was shocked. Is it possible to end up investing 8 billion yuan solely based on the results derived from one's own analysis? Jiang Dong is also too adventurous, isn't he? Can macroeconomic policies at the national level also be anticipated? What if I lose money? That's 8 billion. Reba couldn't help but worry about the river. Yang Mi is a newcomer, and as soon as she saw Reba's worried expression, she knew what the other person was thinking. Anna, Jiang Dong's judgment won't be wrong, so rest assured. She is also her own woman, and cannot be too shabby. Jiang Lu immediately said, if you don't participate, you won't feel it deeply. Okay, I'll give you a school district house. How much you can earn then is entirely up to you. First-tier school district houses can be worth a lot of money. More importantly, the real estate industry is currently in a golden period of growth, with greater potential for future appreciation. The sudden surprise overwhelmed Reba. The way Jiang Dong always gives away houses is simply cool. At night, 3 people stayed at the most stylish hotel in the area. The hotel is very unique and built on sheet grassland. The 1,000,000-acre grassland is located at an altitude of 2,000 meters. The terrain is undulating, with wild flowers scattered throughout the mountains and herds of cattle and sheep on the slopes. All of this is like a fairyland under the cover of blue sky and white clouds. The 3 of them leisurely gathered together for afternoon tea and spent a wonderful afternoon. The hotel rooms are elevated buildings with ethnic characteristics. It looks a bit like a tent in appearance, but the interior is very spacious with all the necessary facilities. For dinner, the 3 of them had a barbecue over a campfire. You have a unique flavor when you start doing it yourself. Cheers. 3 beer glasses collided. On the midday of the month, all 3 of them felt a bit drunk. I'll go to the restroom. Xiao Pucai can't do this anymore, go and get back quickly. Yang Mi turned her head and leaned against the river, saying, I'm not drunk, I can still fight until dawn. The river looked up to drink, and its Adam's apple was unusually prominent under the irradiation of the campfire, wriggling up and down with the swallowing movement. Yang Mi suddenly felt hot and dry when she saw this scene. Jiang Lu put down his wine glass. Before he could wipe it off, suddenly a fragrant breeze hit his face, and Yang Mi had already bumped into his arms. The rapid breathing blew on Jiang Lu's face, and he instinctively responded. At this moment, Reba returned from the restroom and happened to witness this wonderful scene. Ah! A scream of surprise caught the attention of both Jiang Lu and Yang Mi. Reba is in great embarrassment. She is a young girl who has never seen this kind of battle before. You, how are you on the grass? True social death scene. Reba wished she could find a crack in the ground to crawl in. She blushed and stuttered, did I come at a bad time? Jiang Lu hugged Yang Mi on one side and reached out his hand to embrace Reba on the other. No, you came at the right time. Chapter 10. Left Yang Mi and right Reba. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Jiang Lu blurted out this sentence entirely out of his instinct. Reba almost couldn't hold her tension. Shame is good, but there is also a hint of desire. How can we deal with this? After a moment of hesitation, Reba slowly walked towards the river. The next morning, the river was awakened by the heat. He looked at himself in the mirror and thought to himself, hey, I'm afraid I'm not Superman, right? In fact, since the river crossed, his physical fitness has been extremely good. Firstly, it is energetic and not tiring at all. Just like yesterday, I didn't fall asleep until it was almost dawn. I woke up at only 8 o'clock now, still full of energy, as if I had eaten kidney treasure. Secondly, he has never been sick and has never even caught a small cold, making him a little superhero. This kind of physical fitness is definitely not something that can be achieved through exercise. The cleaning lady looked at the river flow with strange eyes when picking up the garbage. Grab the grass, this young man. The aunt glanced meaningfully at the lively river, with a hint of envy in her eyes. Young is so good. Back then, hey, let's not mention it. After washing up, the river happily called for a pot of tea. Then he took out his laptop and received several documents and materials sent by Chen Jiping last night. After about an hour, Yang Mi and Reba finally woke up. Yang Mi answered the phone. Is it the phone number of the crew? The agent called and informed me that we still don't have any scenes for the two of us today. Upon hearing these words, Jiang Lu immediately felt that the director had taken the lead. Not bad, not bad. He is a talented person with great vision. After Yang Mi and Reba rested, they regained their vitality. The river has gained a deeper insight into the saying that only tired cows can survive on uncultivated land. Yang Mi is dressing up in the mirror. The fact proves that makeup is really a big project. The river waited for half an hour without seeing Yang Mi come out. I'm coming in now. Before Yang Mi could respond, Jiang Lu opened the door and walked in. I can't hold it anymore. Yang Mi was shocked by the sudden and reckless action of the river. Breaking into girls' bathrooms is not a good habit. Shoo, there's no way, holding urine is also not a good habit. Who made you wait so long? That's too straightforward, girls' makeup always takes some time, okay? Oh, you're not being good, I'll punish you. Yang Mi was about to speak when Jiang Lu hugged her from behind. She was frightened by the bold actions of the river. Because Reba is only one door away from them. I'm dying. No, I will punish you. Don't make a fuss, it's embarrassing. It's okay, she's blowing her hair. In the room, Reba is slowly blowing her hair. Hey, why did Jiang Dong get in for so long? She seemed to realize something, and suddenly her delicate body trembled like a needle on a needle. Am I going out to avoid it for a while? Or continue to blow your hair and pretend not to know? If you go out to avoid it, isn't there no silver in this place of 300 taels? But it's awkward to continue sitting here. Reba is in a dilemma. She had no choice but to continue blowing her hair. After a while, Reba's scalp was almost blown apart. The river finally came out of the bathroom, and as soon as it came out, it met Reba's gaze, facing each other. Reba put down her hair dryer for the rest of her life. Finally, it's out. Jiang Lu's face was thick enough, and he said disapprovingly, "Oh, your hair is a bit split, you need to pay attention to maintenance. Hair is the artist's second face." Reba looked resentful. "My fork is divided for you. I know a very useful hair conditioner. I'll give you a few bottles another day, they're really useful." Speaking of hair, Jiang Lu turned around to look at Yang Mi. In her past life, Yang Mi's hairline was famously high. Fortunately, there is still no problem with Yang Mi's hairline. Yang Mi was seen by him with hair on her hair. Jiang Lu said seriously, "You should also take good care of your hair, especially to prevent hair loss." Yang Mi is not sure why. "What the hell, my hair is very good." "Hey, that's a bit early." The river stayed for another 2 days. He visited all the fun local attractions with Yang Mi and Reba. Afterwards, he reluctantly returned home. "I used to look down on the foolish ruler who was obsessed with beauty. Now the river has made some changes to them. Grandma, being stuck by beautiful women like Yang Mi and Reba can really make you lose interest." Returning to Shanghai, the pace of life in the river has returned to normal. He still has a clear grasp of life and work. One size fits all, playing with pain and joy, playing with darkness and darkness. Devote oneself wholeheartedly to work while working. A few days later, there was finally a big move from above. As expected by the current situation, the school district housing policy has finally come out fresh. This also marks the beginning of the effectiveness of the previous layout of the river.